Why you pee at night, the most overlooked reason. Do you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, sometimes 2 or 3 times, just to empty your bladder? Many men over 60 think this is simply a normal part of aging, an inconvenience that must be endured. But modern research shows that frequent nighttime urination, also called nocturia, can be a signal of deeper health concerns that quietly threaten your heart, your memory, and even your longevity. Ignoring it as just age may cause you to overlook a silent condition that is stealing both your sleep and your strength. In this video, Dr. David, chairman of urology at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City, who has performed more than 7,000 robotic surgeries, will share insights most men never hear. We will uncover the hidden reason behind nocturia and reveal 7 practical steps to help you regain restful nights. And before we dive into those solutions, let us first understand why waking to urinate is far more dangerous than most people imagine. Why nighttime urination is more dangerous than you think and the most common reasons behind it. For many men after 60, waking at night to urinate feels like nothing more than a nuisance, a small price of aging that must be tolerated. Yet medical studies paint a very different picture. Researchers following more than 15,000 adults found that men who rose 2 or more times each night to urinate had over 50% higher risk of death from any cause compared to those who slept through the night. Women were also affected, with the risk nearly doubling in some age groups. This means nocturia is not only about lost sleep, it is a signal linked to serious health outcomes that deserve attention rather than dismissal. The danger is not only in statistics but also in the daily toll on your life. When sleep is broken repeatedly, the body loses its chance to enter deep restorative stages. The brain cannot process memories effectively, and blood pressure tends to remain elevated through the night. Over time, this cycle increases the risk of heart disease, diabetes, depression, and even accidents due to daytime fatigue. Many men describe feeling older than they are, not realizing that their nightly bathroom trips are silently robbing them of strength, clarity, and independence. Seen in this light, nocturia is more than an inconvenience. It is a red flag. Understanding the common causes can help you take back control. One obvious trigger is drinking too much water, tea, or alcohol close to bedtime, especially beverages with caffeine or alcohol that act as diuretics. Chronic conditions such as diabetes, both type 1 and type 2, can lead to higher urine production at night. Heart failure and liver disease can also shift fluid from the legs back into circulation during sleep, filling the bladder when you least expect it. Men with an enlarged prostate may struggle to empty the bladder completely, causing repeated urges at night. Kidney stones or bladder irritation can contribute as well. Even circadian rhythm problems or poor sleep hygiene may play a role. At first glance, these explanations seem varied, yet they all share one important fact. Most can be worsened or even triggered by a hidden condition few people associate with nighttime urination, namely sleep apnea and related breathing disorders. Studies show that untreated sleep apnea can mimic or intensify nearly every known cause of nocturia. It increases urine production through hormonal changes, raises blood pressure, worsens diabetes, and places stress on the heart. Despite this, many videos and health articles barely mention sleep apnea, leaving men to chase medications without addressing the root. This is why so many continue to suffer despite trying every conventional approach. The hopeful news is that recognizing nocturia as a warning rather than a normal part of aging opens the door to solutions. By understanding both the dangerous consequences of ignoring the problem and the common conditions that contribute to it, you can begin to see that better nights are possible. No man should resign himself to broken sleep and declining health. With the right knowledge, lifestyle adjustments, and medical guidance when necessary, the cycle can be changed. Now that we have looked closely at why nighttime urination is so harmful and the conditions that often cause it, we are ready to explore the surprising link that almost everyone overlooks. In the next part, we will uncover how sleep apnea and a related condition known as upper airway resistance syndrome may be the hidden driver behind countless cases of nocturia, and why addressing your breathing at night could be the key to finally sleeping through until morning. The overlooked secret: sleep apnea, UARS, and the consequences of leaving them untreated. When most men think about waking up at night to urinate, their first thought is usually the prostate. Others may blame diabetes, kidney problems, or simply aging. Yet one of the most important and overlooked reasons is something very different: the way you breathe while you sleep. Obstructive sleep apnea and a related condition called upper airway resistance syndrome, or UARS, are silent culprits that often go undetected. Studies show that nearly 20% of adults in the United States live with sleep apnea, and as many as 90% remain undiagnosed. This means millions of people may believe their bladder is the problem when in reality their airways are the hidden trigger. To understand how this works, imagine what happens when your throat closes for just a few seconds during sleep. Airflow stops, oxygen levels fall, and the chest has to pull harder against the blockage. This effort creates a strong negative pressure inside the chest cavity. The heart, stretched by this vacuum, interprets the pressure as if it were being flooded with blood. In response, the heart releases a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide, which signals the kidneys to produce more urine. The result is simple but surprising. You wake up with a full bladder, not because you drank too much water, but because your own breathing problem tricked your body into making extra urine during the night. UARS is slightly different but no less harmful. In this condition, the airway does not fully collapse, yet it narrows enough to cause resistance to airflow. Breathing becomes strained, sleep becomes fragmented, and the same hormonal signals are triggered. The person may never stop breathing long enough to be diagnosed with classic sleep apnea, yet they still experience repeated micro-arousals that prevent deep restorative rest. Many men with UARS are thin, relatively healthy, and often told by doctors that nothing is wrong, yet they continue to suffer from fatigue, headaches, and nocturia. The effects of untreated sleep apnea, or UARs, go far beyond nighttime bathroom trips. Over time, the constant drops in oxygen and repeated awakenings place enormous stress on the cardiovascular system. Blood pressure rises, heart rhythm becomes unstable, and the risk of heart attack or stroke increases significantly. Research has shown that men with sleep apnea are far more likely to develop resistant hypertension, a form of high blood pressure that does not respond well to medication. Diabetes also becomes harder to control, as disrupted sleep interferes with insulin sensitivity. Even arthritis, skin problems, and digestive disorders have been linked to poor quality sleep and chronic oxygen deprivation. Memory and mood are also affected in ways that many men never connect to their sleep. When the brain is repeatedly aroused during the night, even if only for seconds, the normal cycles of deep sleep and dream sleep are interrupted. These stages are critical for consolidating memories, balancing emotions, and restoring mental clarity. Men with untreated sleep apnea often report brain fog, irritability, and difficulty concentrating, not realizing that the root lies in the airway rather than the mind. Depression and anxiety can follow, creating a downward spiral that affects not only health but also relationships and quality of life. Sexual function is another area heavily influenced by breathing during sleep. Erectile dysfunction is far more common in men with untreated sleep apnea, with studies suggesting that lack of oxygen and disrupted hormone production damage the delicate blood vessels and nerves required for erections. Testosterone levels can drop, leaving men feeling weaker, less motivated, and disconnected from their sense of masculinity. Many arrive at the urologist seeking help for ED or frequent urination, but as Dr. David often explains, the problem may actually be rooted in the bedroom at night when breathing falters. Weight gain adds yet another layer to this complex picture. Poor sleep changes appetite hormones, increasing cravings for sugar and high-calorie foods while lowering satiety signals. Men who struggle with sleep apnea often find themselves putting on pounds despite no major changes in diet or exercise. This extra weight then worsens the airway obstruction, creating a vicious cycle that is hard to escape without intervention. Left untreated, this cycle can lead to obesity, worsening diabetes, and further decline in sleep quality. The good news is that awareness opens the path to change. Once sleep apnea or UARS is recognized, there are effective steps that can break the cycle. For some men, weight loss, positional therapy, and addressing nasal congestion can make a dramatic difference. Others may benefit from CPAP therapy or alternative devices that keep the airway open. What matters most is not ignoring the signs. If you or someone you love wakes multiple times each night to urinate, snores loudly, or feels tired despite a full night in bed. These may be signals to seek evaluation by a sleep specialist rather than only focusing on the bladder. When patients finally treat their sleep apnea, the improvements often extend far beyond urination. Blood pressure stabilizes, headaches ease, weight becomes easier to manage, and energy levels rise. Many men report that their erectile function improves, their mood lightens, and they feel younger than they have in years. What once seemed like a normal part of aging is revealed as a reversible condition that was quietly stealing health for far too long. Recognizing that nocturia can be a sign of breathing trouble rather than just aging is empowering, because it means you can take steps to reclaim your nights. No one should feel resigned to stumbling in the dark to the bathroom several times each night. Sleep, when restored, becomes the foundation for health, strength, and vitality at any age. Now that you understand how overlooked sleep apnea and UARS are, and the serious consequences they create when left untreated, we can move forward to something practical. In the next part, I will share 7 natural and effective steps that you can begin today to reduce nighttime urination and improve your sleep, so you can once again enjoy the peace of an unbroken night's rest. 7 natural steps to reduce nighttime urination and improve sleep. Step 1. Eat dinner earlier and avoid refined carbohydrates. Many men overlook the timing of their evening meals, yet it has a powerful influence on sleep and bladder health. Eating late at night, especially heavy meals loaded with white rice, pasta, or sweets, pushes your digestive system into overdrive when your body should be winding down. This strain can worsen acid reflux, disturb your sleep cycles, and even increase urine production. Choosing to eat dinner at least 3 hours before bed, with lighter options rich in vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats, helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce nighttime urges. Try making dinner earlier a family routine, and if you agree with this step, type number 1 in the comments to let me know. Step 2. Avoid alcohol and caffeine close to bedtime. It might feel relaxing to enjoy a glass of wine or a cup of coffee in the evening, but both are diuretics that increase urine production. Alcohol also disrupts the balance of hormones that regulate your sleep cycle, making it harder to enter the deep stages of rest your body needs. Caffeine lingers in the bloodstream for hours, often without you realizing, raising your heart rate and stimulating the bladder. A practical change is to switch to herbal tea after midday or choose water in the evening. Over time, this simple adjustment can dramatically reduce how often you wake to use the bathroom at night. Step 3. Sleep on your side, not on your back. Your sleeping position may seem harmless, yet it can decide how open or blocked your airway becomes. When you lie on your back, gravity pulls the tongue and soft tissues backward, increasing the risk of snoring and airway collapse. This makes sleep apnea worse, leading to more urine production and frequent awakenings. By training yourself to sleep on your side, you keep the airway more stable and breathing smoother throughout the night. Some men find it helpful to use a body pillow or place a tennis ball sewn into the back of a shirt as a reminder to avoid rolling onto the back. Step 4. Keep the airways clear and free of congestion. Nasal congestion from allergies, colds, or structural issues can reduce airflow and increase nighttime breathing problems. This can trigger microarousals, oxygen drops, and eventually lead to more urine being produced while you sleep. Simple remedies such as using a saline rinse before bed, treating allergies with guidance from your doctor, or elevating the head slightly can make a real difference. Breathing exercises or gentle yoga before bedtime can also relax the airway muscles and calm the nervous system. Imagine finishing your evening with a warm shower, a clear nose, and quiet breathing. Small habits that support deep and continuous rest. Step 5. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of consistent sleep. The human body thrives on rhythm, and one of the strongest signals is the timing and duration of sleep. Cutting corners on rest, whether by staying up late or waking too early, weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, and amplifies the effects of sleep apnea. Setting a regular bedtime, turning off screens an hour before, and respecting the body's need for 7 to 8 hours of rest gives the bladder and kidneys a predictable routine. You will notice that when your sleep schedule is steady, The number of nightly bathroom trips often decreases without extra effort. Consistency is not only about discipline, it is a gift to your body's natural healing cycles. Step 6. Get morning sunlight and reduce blue light at night. Exposure to sunlight in the early morning resets your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs hormones, alertness, and sleep drive. Even 15 minutes of natural light while walking outdoors helps raise serotonin in the day and boosts melatonin at night, the hormone that guides sleep. In contrast, artificial blue light from phones, tablets, or televisions tricks the brain into thinking it is still daytime, delaying melatonin release and disrupting your rest. A practical approach is to enjoy a short morning walk and then dim lights in the evening, avoiding screens in the hour before bed. These small changes help synchronize your body to nature's cycle, reducing awakenings and improving bladder control during sleep. Step 7. Lose weight gradually and stay active. Excess body weight, especially around the neck and abdomen, increases the risk of airway collapse and worsens both sleep apnea and nocturia. Research shows that even a modest weight loss of 5 to 10% can significantly reduce nighttime urination and improve overall energy. Gentle activities such as walking after dinner, practicing breathing exercises, or joining a light yoga class can be powerful tools. The goal is not extreme dieting, but steady, sustainable habits that keep your body strong and flexible. Many men report that when they shed even a few pounds, they sleep deeper, wake up less, and feel more confident throughout the day. These 7 steps are not about quick fixes, but about reshaping daily routines so your body has the best chance to heal itself naturally. Each step builds on the others, forming a foundation of healthy habits that support both sleep and bladder health. If one of these steps resonates with you, leave the number in the comments so I know which part of the journey you are ready to begin. Now that we have explored practical solutions, let us move forward to a story of hope, showing how real men and women have transformed their nights by applying these changes. Let me tell you about Linda, who was 65 when Nocturia began to plague her. At first, it was once or twice a night, but within a year she found herself waking 5 times every evening, stumbling in the dark, and starting each morning exhausted. She believed it was simply her age or her bladder, and worried that medication would be her only choice. The fatigue weighed on her mind, and she began to withdraw from activities she once loved because she no longer had the energy. Like many men and women her age, she assumed there was no way back to restful nights. One day, during a routine visit, her doctor encouraged her to look at her lifestyle before turning to pills. Linda began making small changes. She moved her dinner earlier, replacing heavy starches with more vegetables and lean protein, and she gave up her evening glass of wine. She took short morning walks, getting sunlight on her face, and over time, those walks became longer and more enjoyable. Within several months, she had lost 10 kilograms, but even more importantly, she began to notice that she was waking up fewer times each night. The transformation was gradual but powerful. After 5 months, Linda reported that she sometimes slept through the entire night without a single trip to the bathroom. Her energy returned, her mood lifted, and her confidence grew as she realized that change was possible without medication. Scientific studies support her experience, showing that weight loss and improved sleep hygiene can reduce nocturia by improving bladder function and lowering the hormonal signals that drive nighttime urine production. What once seemed inevitable had been reversed by consistent choices made day after day. Linda's story is not unique. Many men and women have seen dramatic improvements when they addressed sleep apnea risk factors, managed their weight, and honored their body's need for rhythm and rest. The message here is simple and hopeful. Nighttime urination does not always require a prescription, and in many cases the solution begins with the daily habits you control. Rather than accepting fatigue as your new normal, you can take small but meaningful steps toward healing. Her journey reminds us that aging does not mean surrendering to discomfort. With patience, persistence, and attention to the basics of healthy living, the body often responds in remarkable ways. And as we move into the final part of this video, let us bring together these lessons and reflect on how every man and woman over 60 can find encouragement, knowing that better nights and brighter mornings are still within reach. Nighttime urination may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but as we have seen, it is not destiny. For many men and women, it is linked to hidden sleep-breathing problems, such as sleep apnea, a condition that often goes undiagnosed yet silently drains health and vitality. Recognizing this connection transforms the way we view nocturia, shifting it from something to be endured into a signal that invites action and hope. The 7 steps we discussed, from eating dinner earlier to improving sleep position, clearing nasal passages, setting regular sleep hours, getting morning sunlight, and gradually losing weight, are all simple choices that can begin today. None of these require expensive treatments or complex routines, yet each one builds a foundation for healthier nights and brighter mornings. You deserve nights of peace, without dragging yourself out of bed in exhaustion, and it is never too late to start. Remember, small changes practiced consistently can lead to powerful results. Whether it is walking each morning, adjusting your diet, or turning off screens before bedtime, each choice is an investment in the future of your health. If you are ready to take the first step, choose one of the 7 strategies and share your number in the comments so we can walk this path together. Thank you for joining me and Dr. David on this journey. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who may be struggling silently. You deserve restful sleep, renewed energy, and the freedom to live each day with confidence. Your journey toward better nights begins right here, right now.